What's going on, people? Welcome to United View and welcome to your match preview for Manchester United versus Southampton at Old Trafford this Sunday, early kickoff. And you know what? I keep saying I'm going to stop using the term bounce back and all this, and you have to kind of forget about Sunday.
Yes.
But obviously, it was brilliant, the type of performance we put in against Betis to get that, lead and to take that to Spain. But it was a different competition.
That's the key thing.
Obviously, win your games, build the momentum, build the confidence. But to really move on, you've got to get 3 points in the next available game. And that is what this is. It was nice to do that against Betis. It was what was needed. That is exactly how we should have responded. However, if you do that against Betis and then draw 1-1 at home against Southampton, ain't good enough, mate. It ain't good enough.
Yep.
And the players know that. Eric Ten Hag knows that. And obviously we know that as fans. So actually, to really not avenge the defeat, I think actually, and this is me as well, we need to get out of this mindset of what avenges it, what rids us. Like you can't. It happened.
No.
You don't get to beat Southampton at home one week and go, see, last week was just. It's like you just actually have to stop talking about it, get back to business, and just leave it. But it's hard because it's just over there at the minute. You can't, do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
but
no victory
after it though in the league.
Yeah, no victory is going to. I've seen people say, like with the game on Thursday, people are saying, "Oh, see, that's put right." No, Sunday cannot be put right. You know, by the way that it happened, it's difficult to put right. At the end of the season, considering what United may or may not do still this season, you could say, well, it was put right because in the grand scheme of things, it really didn't matter. I expect maybe that's the only way you can put it right, is that you make it look like, actually, look, we won another trophy. We qualified for top four. It didn't hurt us really that much. It just hurt our pride quite a lot. We've got to live with that. You're right, though, because, it's almost phase 2 of the reaction of the bounce back, isn't it, on Sunday, whereby it's, look, like you said, it's just you're now in the competition that you suffered last weekend, and you have to make sure that it still doesn't affect you. Lots of people are still looking. The knives are well and truly still out when it comes to Manchester United. Make no mistake about that. They are waiting for the slip up. They're waiting for the fail. Erik ten Hag and Marcus Rashford, they've got their awards for the last month in February. Marcus Rashford, Player of the Month, Ten Hag, Manager of the Month. But people are still desperate to see us fail. I mean, my goodness me, Flex. I mean, I saw a tweet and I spoke about it on Matchday Reloaded that it goes to show how difficult the United job is, because you can win a trophy one Sunday and 7 days later, people are going to be asking you questions about, should your captain still be your captain? And, and how's Manchester United season been a fluke? And you're like, whoa.
And then a couple of days later, you've got a player of the month in your team. You've got it for a record time.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
And you win an award for a manager of the month because you didn't lose that prior month. It's funny how quickly things can change. And I think he'll be aware of that too. He'll be more than aware if there's not a positive result and performance Sunday, then people will be going, oh, maybe that Liverpool event, result, maybe that is still hanging over them. Maybe it is still affecting them. So look, ultimately what they can do, what they need to do is just get the job done, start building momentum again and put the past where it belongs. And that's in the rearview mirror.
Exactly. And you know what? Off the back of the Matchday Reloaded you did yesterday, it was a good performance against Betis in the end. I know first half, they had one chance and scored. That happens. But the reaction from that at half time actually was a big half time, because you're coming off the back of what happened last week. And then you go 1-0 up and you think everything might be rosy. Then you get pegged back. And then it's like, if we don't get the right result out of that's the first game after what happened. And it's like, we need to put it right.
It's what we expected against Liverpool. We expected literally half-time, just reaction, and it didn't happen. And on Thursday it did. And make no mistake, I wouldn't even be shocked Sunday if, again, it's like first half, maybe a little bit slow. Half-time, you go, it's 1-0 or it's 0-0, and you go, about this reaction. And it takes Eric at half-time to really put the rocket up them again and go, right, go again. Figure it out.
But it is about looking forward. And Southampton, look, I watched their last Premier League game against Leicester, and it was a game that really lacked quality. I watched the 90 minutes, and both teams I thought were really poor.
I did too.
Really. Did you watch that game?
Yeah, because it was televised, wasn't it? I think it was the evening kickoff on a Saturday.
And it's one of them games you think, why am I even watching this? Because I'm not really doing anything. It's just on. But actually, I forgot we're actually playing them next. So actually, it bodes well for this. Obviously, they are where they are in the league. That, as a result of them having a really, really tough season, changing the manager, they're second from bottom. But they did just get a win at home against Leicester. And were Southampton amazing in that game? No. Should Leicester have probably scored at some points? Maybe yes. But we have to be on our guard. If you need any form of inspiration, forget what happened last week. Talk about what Bournemouth did to Arsenal.
Yeah.
They came there. I said on the stream at the 12 o'clock that I did on DR Sports, I think it was the Man City Newcastle game, and I was with an Arsenal fan on that stream. I said to Tossin, I said, Arsenal as well, 3 p.m, minimum 3-0. That will be 100%. And they did score 3 goals, but they didn't expect to go 2-0 down. But that just shows you, though, when teams are fighting for points, when teams are hungry, you don't know. If you don't turn up properly, Bournemouth scored after 9 seconds. 9.
Yeah.
It was like the third or fourth fastest goal in Premier League history. I'm not saying Southampton could do that, but again, Southampton went to the bridge and they won. Again,
Yeah.
Chelsea aren't us. We aren't Chelsea. I get that. But if you go 1-0 down to a James Ward-Prowse free kick, which is what happened, or a set piece, you can be up against it. So you have to be switched on. No silly free kicks in and around the area from shooting distance, because it's like a penalty to him. He even joked about it. He missed a penalty against Leicester and said, would have preferred a free kick, to be honest. And he's not lying. He's not lying. From every corner, they're going to stick it right on top of David De Gea, so we need to defend properly. But if we take the momentum from Thursday night forward, this should be a game, where we should be winning.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, you have to be respectful, and we are getting to that stage of the season whereby you get those weird results where people lower down in the league suddenly start picking up points. I mean, near enough every weekend for the last 3 or 4 weeks, maybe even longer than that, you've seen at least one of sort of the bottom 3 or 4 win. They keep one of them will win. And you're right, Southampton have done it away from home this season against Chelsea, albeit we're playing better than Chelsea this season, particularly at home. That's what makes me more confident for Sunday, is that our home form has been really, really good this season. Like, this would be a shock of the next level, of the highest level. I mean, I cast my mind back to the away game, and we found it really difficult at St. Mary's earlier on in the season.
Did.
It was just after. I think it was just after the Liverpool win, I think, at home. I think it was the game after that. And it was like, we're struggling to get through that one. And we just sort of scraped through. I think it was a Bruno volley, really good volley from the edge of the box, or finish from the edge of the box. And a lot's changed since then. And to be honest, though, Flex, and this might be me being arrogant, and you would say, oh, and why are you being so arrogant after what happened last Sunday? But it really is the perfect. You'd ask for this after what happened to us last Sunday. Southampton at home.
Listen,
no games are given, and I know that, and I can already feel the clippage. Okay, make no mistake. Can you hear it? You can hear the clippers on the way out, but
you can hear the clippers.
You can hear them, but it's just they don't. Even as a fan, we'd be lying to ourselves if after that we went who are we playing next? And we went Southampton at home. You go, oh.
To the point where even if we win comfortably, again, it's weird how the mentality is, but everyone
it's only Southampton at home. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
By the end of the day, you still, if you don't win them games, they'll be like, you didn't even beat Southampton. It is what it is. And I'm talking about our own fans, let alone rivals. There's a lot of people, and rightly so, our standards should be high, but it depends the type of support you are. Some people will be like, oh no, I'm not believing anything's fixed until we've won the last 8 and we're in the final of this or whatever. Some people are like up there, and some people are like, listen, let's just keep winning, etc., etc. The rivals will always try and shit on us. That's their jobs. The rivals aren't there to give us praise. They're there to nitpick every little thing. Who cares? We don't care what they say. The same way how they said we were all doomed after the 7-0, we'll never win a match again, and Eric Ten Hag's rubbish, and we've just gone and won the next game 4-1 comfortably. So, and I think team-wise for us, I think it was very telling that Ten Hag made no changes to that team to say, one, that's the team that's got us where it's got us in the league, in the cups, etc., etc. And two, you make the mess, you clear it up. Why would I abandon the same way the players abandoned the principles and the rules and forgot themselves and lost their heads? Why would Eric Ten Hag all of a sudden abandon his principles and things that have helped Man United be consistent? So there's always little, and the fact that he made early changes as well against Betis, getting the likes of Marcus Rashford off. I think Casemiro came off for McTominay, didn't he? I know we spoke about Pellistri coming on, and Mlasic Shaw came off as well, who hasn't actually been the same Shaw for a few games. We want to get him back firing.
I mean,
but it shows that Eric Ten Hag's trying to manage the game in looking for Sunday.
The earliest sub was Wan-Bissaka for Diogo Dalot, of course, as well. And I think, to be honest, he has been the only one that when the team when the team lineups have been put out recently, whether it was the Carabao Cup final or the game against Liverpool, for me anyway, that I looked at and I went, kind of surprised Wan-Bissaka isn't starting today. I'm not sure about that. And every time he's come on, Liverpool won. It's a bit of a cast-off, I get that, but particularly in the Carabao Cup final and on Thursday against Betis, when he came on, you did sort of go, he's doing all right.
He's raised the level of the team.
Yeah,
he's raised the level of the team. I saw him on Thursday night after the game, and just give him a quick spot and said, "Keep it up, man. Hopefully he hasn't seen, when I say Brackfoot and whatever." Like,
wait a minute. Whoa. You mean to tell me after everything this man's gone through, you touched him?
Yeah. Well, but I've said this already though. I've said about the judge after the Barcelona game. I touched Bruno. I was talking to him for ages. Went and won the Carabao Cup. So you can't.
And then a week later,
but you can't. No,
the captaincy fleck.
No.
Oh, we're tracing it back now.
Well, mate, if you think that's bad, the YouTube shorts up. You can see there's loads of players. There's loads. So Casemiro, so Fred, Weghorst. It's just
they're very vulnerable.
Sancho, Jadon as well. Said hello. Tom Heaton, like Elanga. I ain't going to change. Like KG says, and we say don't change. I'm not. I've already said that with this manager, the judges. It's not like last year. The goalpost thing is the only thing that people are like. Don't.
I was with you. It's just at the moment it's just.
Come on,
fragile.
You're either with me. You're either with me or you're not. You're either saying the judge is gone or you're saying it's not. I can't. I'm not in this. I can't do this. I told you what it is already.
No. Or just. Well, I think you have to be conscious of your own powers and say, look, the judge hasn't existed this season, but at the same time, they're a bit fragile at the moment. I'll keep my distance.
No, I love my team.
Were you wearing gloves at the time?
Do you know what? I actually was.
No problem.
Actually, yeah. Do you know what? There was no contact.
Don't have an issue with it. No problem.
That's the funniest thing. I actually was wearing gloves as well. So
good.
There you go. It's a non-argument. It's a non.
Fine. I'm okay now. I'm fine. Yeah, exactly.
We can get back to the preview. Yeah.
Cut it out. Don't even need this segment. No problem.
But yes, team news-wise, exactly. Wan-Bissaka has raised the level of the team, and actually, I think what Ten Hag's tried to do is since that injury that Diogo Dalot had. He hasn't quite been the same. And Ten Hag has tried to play him back, because originally he was the number one striker. So he's tried to play him back into form, I feel, what Ten Hag's tried to do.
When did he get that injury? World Cup.
What?
He came back from the World Cup and then there was an interview, wasn't there?
He played against Charlton. It was before the Carabao Cup game against Charlton. He got injured against Charlton.
And did you...
Well, yeah, it's just like what KG did, isn't it? We both done an interview with the player, and then
he was back by the time the interview came out.
Yeah, but that doesn't.
And before the interview came out, he had scored the night before, the winner.
Yeah, that's just luck, though. The KG injured that man for the whole month. We didn't see Anthony.
Maybe he charged him up.
One. So you're saying he charged him up. The agenda's real. The agenda is really real. The agenda's really, really.
But
real.
I'd have forgotten about that. But then you said Dalot, and then you did the whole.
Yeah, because that one was a real one. I was so pissed when that happened for him and for me. But you can tell Ten Hag's tried to get him back going again, because before the World Cup he was the guy, and he's just slipped off a little bit. He looks a bit leggy. He's making a few mistakes. He just doesn't look his sharp, crisp self.
Same with Shaw, though. You said that in the last couple of games in particular. You have noticed, and to be fair, before the Liverpool game, they said, didn't they? Oh, he's having a fitness test. And I'm not even saying I'll fatigue or anything like that, but even sort of Thursday, he sort of went, he does look a bit tired still.
Yeah.
Like, and maybe this is the part where people were saying a couple of months ago, where they're saying, look, it's all well and good playing every game, strongest team, building momentum. It will catch up, and maybe last weekend, was it catching up? If that's all it's going to catch up in this season and we're still going to carry on winning games, no problem. But these are the kind of games where maybe it's not even necessarily about sort of physical energy or condition. It's about your mental conditions, about how mentally fit you are. It's just being burnt out. Because it's these kind of games that you could slip up on, like you said, Sunday, early-ish kickoff after the Europa League in a game they're expected to win, go through the motions, and then you slip up or you draw, like a bit like Leeds at home. You just don't really, you were just off. So got to be professional, got to get the work done, and got to get an early goal. Get an early goal, set yourself down, and then just play through the game.
Exactly. So I think I wouldn't, if there's a few changes just to freshen it up. Actually, ironically, Shaw's been our guy, the go-to guy, but Malacia came on and done really well as well. I thought he was really aggressive, made sure no one went down his side, closing people down, winning his duels. If he freshened it up and went Malacia and Wan-Bissaka against Southampton, I wouldn't be mad. I wouldn't be mad. Centre-backs, I think because of what happened at Betis, you can look towards that and say if Rafa Varane has to miss one, could he sit out the Betis one? Yeah. But I know it's a hostile atmosphere and stuff like that, and Ten Hag might look at that and say, "Listen, I don't want to concede early or anything like that." It's still tough, hostile atmosphere, even though they look down and out.
You got a 3-goal lead, haven't you?
Got a 3-goal lead though, so if you can't rest Rafael Varane for that, then something's wrong. So I think, especially because this is the one where we have to bounce back from the Liverpool. We've got to get the 3 points. I think again there won't be many changes. It won't be. He'll probably just play the same team again.
Here's one. I was going to say, does he name an unchanged starting lineup in the same same mindset that he had Thursday, where he said, you guys got yourself in it, you get it out of it. But again, this time in the Premier League, maybe the only change is if there are any injuries or not, because that might be it. But do you think he just goes, you know what, same again?
I think there's a big possibility he does do that, unless anyone's got a little nick. Where again, like I said, he had to take off Dalot at half time. That's quite significant.
Yeah,
that's like nah, not for me right now. At half times, like last time he did that was Carabao Cup final, and because he was on the yellow and he was against St. Maximum. Yes, on Thursday I felt like Dalot wasn't awful. He wasn't horrendous, but Ten Hag had seen enough. We didn't hear anything really afterwards about a knock or.
Did he go straight down the tunnel though? I think he went straight.
Did he go straight down the tunnel?
Afterwards.
Fair enough.
If he did, and to be honest, if that is the case,
he wasn't horrible.
And again, if that is the case, and you don't know, but if it's his hamstring or not, if it's something wrong with his hamstring again, you go. I tell you what. One again, like you said, be Wan-Bissaka, because hamstring. If you've twinned your hamstring, you ain't going to play a couple of days later. And two, that's the thing. Since the World Cup, a couple of times, setbacks. That would be something that you would say.
And he had that before, didn't he? He had that. Yeah. He had a few little niggly injuries beforehand. So yeah, I think Wan-Bissaka will come in to wrap up, and if Luke Shaw's fit and ready to go again, he'll play him. But I don't mind Malacia. I think the same two centre halves. Sabitzer was sitting next to us, just across from the press box. He was in the stands. So I spoke to one of the United staff. They said he had just a bit of a knock. So he wasn't in the team. Martial, I know we've seen some reports and some quotes that Ten Hag, they still don't want to rush him. He's back training. We saw that at Carrington when we were there. And again, he was sitting next to us out of the squad. But he's going to keep training. Another few days worth of training. I think he should at least be on the bench for that. And then to the top end of the pitch, Anthony was in some sliders afterwards. Sort of, I didn't touch him, but I did ask him if he was all right.
He was sort of hobbling a little bit, wasn't he?
He was, yeah. And again, actually asked him, and that's in the YouTube short. You see, he said he's fine. Someone just trod on his toe, so he's fine as well. Anthony's good. And Weghorst gets his first goal. Later on today, we've got a little bit of a catch up with Weghorst that we want you to see. So enjoy that. It was good catching up with him, and I won't spoil everything, but he's really confident now. That's what he needed. That's what he needed. So that's a good thing for Wout Weghorst. The whole sigh of relief from the stadium, himself, the players.
Yeah,
it was just really good to see how much it meant to him. So yeah, hopefully he can. Now he scored at Old Trafford and broken that little bit of a duck. then hopefully more should come. And Rashford, I mean, don't need to say anything. don't need to say anything. Let's just leave it there. You don't need to say anything.
Yeah.
So smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Let us know what your predicted lineup is and give us your match predictions as well. Owen, prediction?
3-0 Man United.
Whoa. It's not that crazy. I hear you.
We played one of our last home games at home was Leicester, wasn't it? We won that 3-0. It could have been completely different, by the way, but we won it 3-0. I feel like, again, if we just get an early-ish goal, it could be like that, yeah. Got to go 3.
3-1.
You think we concede?
I don't know. I just always think some bullshit thing can happen. You see how we conceded against Betis?
Yeah, the one thing I would say is James Ward-Prowse against David De Gea on free kicks has done him a couple of times before.
100%. Like he has many a keeper. And that's not even an embarrassing thing. That's like
no. Although some of them with the De Gea ones, you sort of go.
Yeah, there was one at St Mary's a couple of years ago.
I think there was one at Old Trafford as well, which you sort of go, how far across do you really need to be? Sort of situation.
I just got the feeling he'll score a free kick or he'll whip one in. That will be amazing and something. But they're going to probably play what? I think that the guy who scored for them injured himself doing a knee slide. What's his name again? That's crazy. I can't remember his name. So I don't know if he's back, but if he plays up front with Che Adams normally, or you got what's his name, Armstrong, who's quite quick.
It was Alcaraz.
Alcaraz, that's the one. They try and put us under pressure. Again, no disrespect, and I don't want to clip it. I don't want to be clipped. But when I was watching that Southampton game, honestly, I went, "Oh my God, Theo Walcott's still playing." And he was terrible in that game. But I'm just like, if again, you don't want to be disrespectful, you don't want to take one eye off it. But I'm like, if we turn up,
surely,
But they do have some good young players, especially at the back as well, and the midfield as well. So listen, we got to be on our game, and our back has to do it. But I'm going to go 3-1, but I do think we'll concede just by James Ward-Prowse-ness, because that's just what he does. Anyway, guys, we will see you back tomorrow for the match view. Keep everyone company inside UVHQ. Obviously, I'll be at the game. And like I said, interview with Wout Weghorst coming up later on for you guys as well. So yeah, hope you guys enjoy that. We are out of here. Take care. Peace.